Welcome to Walking with Jesus Bible Study. Kind of followed that riverbed, and this is where we ended up. So this is the last little bit of the water that went to the old little riverbed or creek or whatever. Have you not? Still beautiful though. Anyway, we're going to be in the book of Psalms, chapter 40, verse 2. He brought me up also out of a horrible pit, and out of the murky clay, and set my feet upon a rock, and established my goings. I'm going to repeat that. He brought me up also out of a horrible pit, out of the murky clay, and set my feet upon a rock, and established my goings. We often find ourselves mirrored in the daily struggles, and we become bagged down with anxiety, stress, and depression. We feel as though we are sinking deeper into a dark pit and find it difficult to get out. God is our Redeemer. When we call upon Him, He comes to our rescue by lifting up our burdens and placing our feet back on track and nudging us to walk in the right direction. It is so amazing to know God, to have Him in our heart. Because we know with Him we have a true friend, one that we can always count on. He will be there no matter what we're going through. Not too many friends will be there. A lot of friends were only there for the good times, never the sad. They don't like it. It's too hard. It's too miserable for them. They don't know how to deal with it. They don't know how to cope with it. They just don't want to go through it. They don't want to have to handle it. They only care about themselves, and people only like to enjoy good things, and they don't want to take, I just gave you fresh water right here in this cup in your bowl. That's kind of dirty water. I guess you're just going to drink it anyway. Drink what's in your cup right here. No? Okay. It's just like cats, you give them a toy and they only want to play with the cardboard box. Anyway, sorry, back to that. But there's they don't want to be there as your friend. It's too rough. Then you got some people that will be there for you. And this is sad to say, but it's true. The only reason why they're being there for you during your time of sorrow is to gain that attention. There's attention-seeking people. Oh, and because if you're going through something that's, that everybody else is acknowledging, like maybe a death or, a horrible situation of like your house burning down or being flooded or something very serious, you have those friends that just love to stick, and then so that everybody can see them doing things for you. Look at me, I'm helping this person, and they're like gaining attention off of your sorrow. And just want to make it a point to like, oh, let me do this and allow me to do this and allow me to do that. And just so that way they can go and tell everybody they know, oh, yes, you know what? Well, I have a friend and, she's, did you hear what happened? Yes, girl, but don't you worry. Yeah, you know what? That's okay, though, because I'm doing this and I done set up this and I done set up this and I done set up that. You see how that's attention. They're trying to turn it towards them because now you have stolen some thunder from them. They're attention seeker people and they can't get no attention. So here's an opportunity for them to get attention by using you. And it's very sad, but there's a lot of people in this world who do exactly just that. Then you got your true friends that are actually there and want to be there for you and do truly, when they do things, they're doing it truly from their heart and truly trying to help you out. Those are friends you can count on, but they're very few. And it's sad to say, some people can't stick it out for a long period of time. Sometimes when things you're going through is very long and multiple things keep happening more than once. And after like 2 or 3 times, you're like, man, I'm just tired of dealing with this person because this person just first it was this, and now it was this, and now it was this, and now it was that. And I just can't deal with it no more. and they're no longer around. And it's very sad. Which could be understandable, so to speak, but, if there was really, even though they truly was a friend and truly was there for you for the first 3 times, and just afterwards they just couldn't do it, maybe there's something inside of them that they just wouldn't want to acknowledge, except the fact that they learned about themselves going through the situation with you. And so now they can no longer take the heat. Didn't mean that they was a bad person, or the things that they was doing at that time was bad. It just, they could not handle the pressure. They was learning stuff as you was learning stuff, and they just couldn't, and they don't still believe that it was their lesson to learn and no longer want to be around. But see, that's why it's a blessing to have God. Because He is the only one that will stick around no matter how many times. No matter what number this is of things happening to you, He's still there. And He will always be there. I don't know if you've been a Christian your whole entire life. There's a lot of people that have been, that was born and raised in it. And it was lucky to have that kind of life. And there's some that just now is not starting to come to Christ. Or some that kind of knew some of it but wasn't fully into it, and went on and lived their life and now has come to Christ. But then there is those who has still yet to have known God. And for those of us that has kind of newly come to it, and we thought throughout the beginning of our lives, or throughout our lives, that we was by ourselves and we was totally alone, and that nobody loved us, nobody cared for us, we was totally by ourselves. And now that we truly come to know God, and we realize that He opened up our eyes, and we seen that, oh my gosh, He was there the whole entire time. It was because of God put this kindness in this person's heart that day when I needed something and I needed a tire and nobody would stop, and this one person did. That was God who put it upon that person to stop and help me. Oh my goodness, I'm realizing God never forsake me. God has never forsaken anybody. Look, if He's going to sit here and help those people who mock Him, who deny Him, who shame Him, who curse at Him, He provides for them. People's like, oh, I don't understand what you're talking about. Let me explain something to you. There is nothing in this world that is ever being done at all, no matter what it is, without God's will. It is for God's will that any and everything is being done, every word ever spoken. God is making it ability for them to do that. Now, He doesn't sit there and put mocking of Him in their mouth. He gives a choice to do that, but He's allowing them to live. So the fact that He allows them to live gives the will for them to say such things. And He still makes sure that they eat, because He can stop them from eating. It is by His will that they still find food, that they still have a job to pay for the things that they need. See, God takes care of any and everybody. We are all His children. It's His very breath that put into us the reason why it exists. So just because they want to be bad kids doesn't mean that He does not love them. He uses good and He uses evil for His own good. If you have not noticed, He hardened Pharaoh's heart for a reason. Why? So he could, and if you read that, and if your heart cringed a little bit, like, see, God hardened his heart. Maybe Pharaoh would have gave in. But God, it says God hardened his heart. Wow, and then He killed his son. But see, God hardened his heart. Like that seems kind of cruel, right? He used that evil for good. He made him his heart hardened so he could show up and show out, to prove to His own chosen children, look what I can do. I'm going to prove to you. Because this guy ain't going to give you anything that you want. He's not going to let you go. He's going to say no and no and no. Even after I do this, He's still going to say no. But watch this. Watch this. But watch this. So just because that person is mocking God, He could be using that for His own good, which He always does. We just don't see it, nor do we understand God's wisdom. but we will.